I've been asked several times how and why I entered the mental health realm, and I'm sure other people wonder the same thing, so I decided to do a short video to kind of detail how this mission began. So prior to December of 2017, I was going through a lot. I was dealing with a lot of personal issues, unresolved trauma, and at the end of December of 2017, I had become severely depressed. I had entered a very dark space, one that I was unfamiliar with and one that I didn't even know existed. The relentless negative emotions that I felt from carrying such a heavy load had finally broke me to the point where I became suicidal. And if it wasn't for God speaking to me directly when he did, I wouldn't be here to tell you this story. And it was at that point that my personal journey began. I was able to see my flaws and the trauma that I was subconsciously living through. I saw a lot of things about myself that I didn't like because these things influenced who I was, how I behaved. It tainted my perception of life, and I wasn't really living. Rather, I was living through the things that happened to me. In order for me to operate at my purpose, I needed to become my most authentic self. And to do that, I had to be stripped completely naked. There were days I didn't get out of bed. There were days that all I did was cry. There were days that I didn't eat. Some days all I would do was smoke weed just so I could sleep, so I can escape my reality. I withdrew from people and things that I enjoyed because I just didn't want to be here anymore. I was tired. I just was ready to quit. I gave up. Now, weather and storms wasn't easy, but God equipped me with everything that I needed to get through them. When I was drowning in an emotional flood, God gave me a life jacket. When the tornadoes and high winds came rushing in, God was my anchor. When it rained, I was given an umbrella and rain boots. When fires erupted, I was handed a fire extinguisher, and when I felt like I was falling, God became my parachute. I realized that our storms don't come to hurt us, they come to help us become better versions of ourselves. Now, I won't sit here and tell you that change is easy, because it isn't. But is it worth it? Absolutely. Am I proud of being on the brink of suicide? No. But am I ashamed of it? Absolutely not. You know why? Because it's my story. And it forced me to deal with things that was holding me hostage and allowed me to break free of the things that weighed me down. It compelled me to mutate into who God has destined me to be. Sometimes we don't go through things for ourselves, we go through them to help others. And it didn't feel good going through it, but it feels absolutely amazing now that I'm beyond it. And I wouldn't change any part of the reconstruction phase because it made me a much better person. That said, I want to encourage getting help and or speaking to someone if you need help. You are not alone in this fight. We all have stuff, right? But having the ability to process situations opposed to internalizing them will be most beneficial. Let's end the stigma. There is nothing wrong with saying that you need help. You matter, and your mental health matters.